There you go. Big up Raj's cameraman.
He's not Raj's cameraman, he's the general.
No, me.
There's only a few people that are tall enough to film and get good angle. Normally when I use short people, no, but normally when you shoot, it's like an angle like that. All right, so started.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so just quickly just check something with the Hindus. I apologise to my Hindu brothers. I don't really know why Hindus celebrate Diwali. I've tried to look it up. So happy Diwali to my Sikh and Hindu brothers. One of the things is, the reason I don't know is because obviously I'm a Sikh, and Sikhs, although we celebrate Diwali on the same day, we actually celebrate for a separate reason. It's not the same reason. We call it actually Bhandi, Chor, Divas. And so we have a different reason for actually celebrating. And I'm going to try and go into the history of that. Before I do, let me just explain briefly why the Hindus actually celebrate it, because I think that's kind of important. It's going to be quick for me to get out of the way. Let me see if I can get this really. Okay. So I apologise if I'm reading the Hindu part out. I apologise. Mr. Rax, you should know this anyway. So for the Hindus, we call it the Festival of Lights. We also call it the Festival of Lights as well. So you'll see today a lot of fireworks and little lights, you know, candles and stuff lit everywhere. So if you hear a lot of like pataching and pataching, that's for Diwali today. Yeah. The dancing. Oh, we don't dance today, man. So the Festival of Lights is mainly celebrated in honour of Lord Ram's return to. So this, the Hindus, it's the return of Lord Ram to the kingdom in Ayodhya after 14 years of exile. And he's also considered a Lord Vishnu's reincarnation. Yeah? So for the Hindus, they celebrate obviously for his return from exile after 14 years. Now the Sikhs celebrate it for a different reason, and it's actually called the Bhandi Chor Divas. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go through why the Sikhs celebrate it and what is different about it. Yeah? So basically, when it comes to the reason why we celebrate it, we do the same celebrations. We do the same celebration in terms of like, you know, what you visibly see, but at the temple it will be different. So I'm going good for that later on, which is why I'm in such good behaviour today. I'm like the best you're going to see me for a long time.
This is good behaviour, is it?
So obviously, before I go on, I do not represent Sikhs. I am not a good representation of Sikhs. So do not judge the Sikh community according to me, because a lot of people are saying that because Raj behaves this way, all Sikhs hence are tarnished. Now the same logic can be used against every community. Because Muslims behave this way, the whole community is going to be tarnished by that. So don't go by my behaviour. Go by people like RIP and other Sikhs that are what we call baptised Sikhs and Amritari Sikhs. I'm just somebody who's on a journey, and as the only Sikh here, and trust me, you only need one. It causes a bit of trouble. So there's only me here. I have a kind of a duty to at least speak about this. And now I apologise beforehand if I make mistakes, because I am still on my own journey, and I might make a few errors here and there. Now, when it comes to the story of the Bhandi Chor Divas, it basically, the translation is liberation of the prisoners' day. Now, what had happened is that Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the 5th Guru, had actually been executed in 1606 by the Emperor Jahangir. The reason he was executed, I don't want to go into it obviously because it can get controversial, but I will say that it is to do with Islamic oppression within India. There was a connection to that, and I know everyone will say, "Raw, doing Islamophobe for saying that." No, it's history. You've got to deal with it. So basically, what had happened, he was executed, and because of that, his son Guru Hargobind, the 6th Guru, was then put in charge, and he was a young boy at the time, around 11 years old. So that was in 1606. Now what had happened is that over a period of time, Jahangir, who was a leader still in power, started to see the rise of Guru Hargobind, and the reason why the Sikhs are militaristic now is actually started not from Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru, but from Guru Hargobind. Guru Hargobind Singh Ji was the first one to really put the ethos about warrior saints, that you must fight for just causes. So he laid the groundwork, and Guru Har Gobind is actually Guru Gobind Singh Ji's grandfather. So there's a connection between the lineage. And so what happened is that, from my understanding, and I'm Mafi Mangda, if I make a mistake, that means I ask for forgiveness. But basically what then happened was that Jahangir started seeing the rise of Guru Har Gobind and found it to be threatening. So what happened, they arrested him and put him in prison. So when he was in prison, he was around 11 years old at the time, so he was very young. Actually, he was 14. He was around 14. He was very young, and that happened in 1609, from my understanding. Some of the figures are a little bit off. Some people say it's 10 years more. So forgive me for the dates, but I'm going to go with a lower date. So basically, he was put in prison, and within the prison, he was with a load of princes, Hindu princes. Now, what had happened is these Hindu princes, for lots of different reasons, were in prison. Now, whether that was for religious reasons, for tax, for this or that, I'm not going to really go into. But they were in prison, from the Guru's perspective, falsely as well, a lot of them. Like, you know, they were unjustly in prison. So Guru Har Gobind spent around 2 years within the prison with these individuals. So he was locked up for a long time. And I think the pronunciation of the place is the Galuwara. I need to just double check. Oh yeah, Gwaliora. Yeah, Gwaliora. Now, I apologize if I didn't get the pronunciation right, but basically the fort where he was actually in prison. Now, when he was there, he created quite a good relationship with the princes that were there. And so over a period of time, Jahangir started realizing from a Sufi saint, because before everyone says, Raj, you're an Islamophobe, you're always cussing Islam, and it's like, no, there were good Muslims within the empire of India as well. And a Sufi saint actually came down, and he actually fought for Guru Har Gobind's release. And so we appreciate that. And so he fought for him. Because of him, Jahangir changed his mind, and he decided to release Guru Har Gobind. Now the thing is that Guru Har Gobind, because he become such good friends with the rest of the princes that were in there, and there was around 52 of them, he didn't want to leave unless he could take them with him. Now, one of the caveats was that Jahangir said you can take them, but as many as you can on your, like a shawl. So imagine if you got a shawl.
Scarf.
So he said, yeah, a shawl, you say a shawl.
Oh, okay.
So basically he said, take as many as you can. Now the reason he put that, because he thought, obviously you can only get 1 or 2 on a shawl. Now one of the things that Guru Har Gobind done, he got someone to make a special shawl, and he had a lot of tassels on there.
Nipple tassels.
Oh, don't say that.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about tassels. So we're talking religious talk today, man.
Sorry.
You're going to get me in trouble. Oh my God. Blasphemy. And before anyone says I should kill him for that, we are in the UK. We don't hurt people for saying things. So basically, when it comes to the situation, he got someone to create a long shawl, and on it had 52 like tassels. So the reason he done that was that there was 52 princes. So 52 princes could hold the tassels. So what had happened on Diwali in around 1611 or 1612, some people say 1619, is still disputed. Guru Har Gobind was released, and it was on Diwali. So obviously, if it's on Diwali, the Hindus and Sikhs share a lot of commonality because they're from the Dharmic faith. And so what happened, he managed to release the 52 princes with him. Now remember, Guru Har Gobind was a young man as well. He was only around, at that time, 16 years old. So he ended up going on to be one of the gurus that actually militarized the Sikhs. So that's the reason why the Sikhs celebrate Diwali. I mean, I wish some Hindus would kind of like elaborate a bit more. Unfortunately, I don't really know much about the Hindu side of it. And if I have made mistakes, like I said, I don't deserve the death penalty or anything. I've made a mistake, and I apologize if I did. Now, I do want to say something. I do want to go on to one other thing. What's his name? DJ Riz has gone, so I couldn't say what I want to say. Basically, when it comes to this situation, this is also connected to Adnan Rashid, who made the claim that Guru Tegh Bahadur was executed, which was actually Guru Har Gobind's son, was executed for being a murderer and pillaging North India. Now, I do want to challenge Adnan Rashid to a debate, and I've said it earlier, and I do want to get some Sikhs down, even if you disagree with me, I believe that I'm not the right person to debate him on this because he's a slippery snake. And so I need some people to be able to kind of really knuckle him down on that, because it's a big slander, because Guru Tegh Bahadur is one of the very few religious figures to die for another faith, because he actually died or was executed for the Hindu Pandits of Kashmir. And that's very rarely that has happened, that an individual sacrifices his life for that. So I don't want to go too negative, but big up to Lord Indrajit as well, because Lord Indrajit Singh put the BBC in their place, because the BBC is trying to rewrite Sikh history, because people are going to get upset because you're telling about the Islamic oppression of India. Now, at the end of the day, you cannot tell Jesus Christ's story without mentioning the Jews or the Roman Empire. Yeah, are you anti-Semitic? Yeah. So what I will say is that for us to tell the history of the Sikhs, we should be able to tell the full story, even with some of the most gruesome bits. And that's something I'll leave for another day, because I have to be good, Raj, today. And I will say something. No, I wasn't going to say. I'm not saying. Let's leave it good. So, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ka Fateh. Happy Diwali, happy Bhandi Chor.
Happy Diwali.
You know, I was just about. Should really do what he's doing.